The San Antonio Spurs closed the door on the Minnesota Timberwolves. And now we're getting the series that everybody wants to see. The undefeated defending champions. The team everyone is hate watching. The Oklahoma City Thunder, sitting there like the villain of the NBA, spearheaded by Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and the best defense in basketball. Then on the other side, we've got Victor Wembanyama in the Spurs, the young team that was supposed to be a couple years away. Except apparently nobody told them that, because San Antonio just beat a team that had been to back-to-back Western Conference Finals, and they made it look way too easy. Game 6 was not some nervous young team just surviving the moment. It was a 30-point beatdown on the road. So no, this doesn't really feel like a future problem anymore. And there are 4 clear reasons why the Spurs suddenly look ready to win it right now. And the last one is why I'm not sure Oklahoma City is actually ready for what's about to be put in front of them. The first reason this Spurs run feels really...
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think people talking about it enough. And I think that might be because it's so much content on the NBA. It's so many shows. It's so much stuff going on now that it's not really like one focus no more. But what Wemby is doing is not fucking no. And I'm an OKC fan. You feel? If it's not the Bulls, I'm rooting for OKC as far as team goes. But I am a Wemby fan. I'm an Anthony Edwards fan. I'm fans of certain players. But as far as any team goes, it's Bulls first, OKC second. And the only time I would probably go against OKC is if they playing the Bulls. But for it to be his third season in the league, how much he's grown, the shit he's done, he got 12 blocks in a game, bro, in a playoff game. He led his team past a very, very, very solid Timberwolves squad. You know what I'm saying? And it's not gonna be no easy. It's not gonna be no walk in the park for OKC. They better get their shit together. But the only thing I think the reason I still have OKC is because OKC I feel like they got too many weapons, especially when in the big man position. You know what I'm saying? And the defense is so good on OKC that I feel like it's gonna take so much energy. First of all, I think that the series is going to go at least 6 games. I think it's going to go 7. But at least 6. And for all that energy that Wemby and the Spurs are going to have to exert on offense just to get a good shot or just to get a bucket, I don't know if they'll be able to keep up with that. Just them dogs hunting them.
Different is because the whole question with San Antonio was always their youth. It wasn't really, do they have enough talent? Like, obviously they had enough talent. The question really was whether or not they were too young for this moment. Like, at some point, are they just going to hit a wall in these playoffs? They beat the Trailblazers pretty handedly in round 1. And then in this second round series against Minnesota, there were a few moments where it looked like, here we go. The Spurs are just too young, but they've got years to get this done. They lose game 1 at the buzzer after Julian Champagnie misses the open 3. And then the big moment happens. Wembanyama gets ejected early out of game 4, allowing Minnesota to go ahead and tie the series.
I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I didn't talk about that on this channel.
This is the open 3. And then the big moment happens. Wembanyama gets ejected early out of game 4.
But for Wemby to look at that man in the eye, cock back and swing his elbow like that at his neck, jaw area, and he got kicked out. He should have got kicked out. I think he should have got suspended for a game. I don't give a damn that it's Wembanyama. You can't cock. You've never seen, I don't remember. I didn't watch Jordan, but I've never seen Kobe or LeBron or James Harden or Cole. I've never seen them just look at somebody straight cock back and hug. I've never seen a real superstar ever do that. Do I get why he did it? Yeah, I get why he did it. They being physical, nigga, get up off me. Cool. If you want to play like that, cool. That's great. If I was the Timberwolves coach, maybe this is why I ain't a coach. If I was the Timberwolves coach, I'm going to get that 11th, 12th man off the bench, the biggest nigga I could find. Hey, come here. Go elbow his ass back. Go push him around. When he push you back, elbow his ass back. Because, see, you can get kicked out. We don't care about you getting kicked out. I want you to go elbow that motherfucker. Because who you think you elbowing, bro? It's one thing to get physical and get physical back then. Don't elbow nobody in they throat, in their jaw area on purpose. You look at them, you cock back and swing your elbow. You could have knocked that man out. Then what we talking about? If Nas Reed get knocked out, fall, and have a concussion, then what we talking about? Like, it ain't nowhere in the game for that. People think it's justified because they was pulling on him. That's basketball though, bro. Just like it's football. But in football, you still can't helmet the hell. I don't give a fuck how physical they get. You can't helmet the helmet no man. You can't step on no man ankles or step on no man ribs and tell him to get up off you. Like, that was a dirty play. So I would have went and fought dirty too. I would have had two niggas. Go one, you elbow him in the stomach as hard as you can, and you elbow him in his jaw as hard as you can. That's what I would have did if I was the coach. Shit. And if he injured, so what? Hey, put your foot up under him when he shoot threes. He want to play 30, let's play 30 then. That's what I would have did.
Allowing Minnesota to go ahead and tie the series.
That's me, though.
That was the moment where we were all thinking, if San Antonio loses game...
And get this man some help? God damn. Get him some help. Rudy, you gotta go. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. You either got to get the fuck on, or you're gonna have to come off the bench. Julius Randle, you need to get the fuck out of here, bro. I'm sorry. I don't know who thought it was a good idea to trade him for Cat. That was stupid as a... Get that nigga up out of here. Get Julius Randle the fuck up out of here, man. Y'all need to go all in on Giannis, bro, because the Timberwolves are too good. They just too good. They got this man right here carrying the fucking franchise, and you got you got Jaden McDaniels, you got Shannon off the bench. You got a lot of talent over here. Get this man some serious help. The fuck are we doing? Look, y'all making my connection go.
The San Antonio Spurs close the jersey in the cart because it's not just the nut. 5 made to go on the road and finish the deal. That Minnesota crowd is super loud, and if the Wolves could get on an early run, there's a real chance that San Antonio could start to look a little shaky. But San Antonio loses game 5. They're going to be in serious trouble. But Wembanyama responded with a masterclass to open up that game, proving the doubters wrong yet again. Then they had to go on the road and finish the deal. That Minnesota crowd is super loud, and if the Wolves could get on an early run, there's a real chance that San Antonio could start to look a little shaky. But they answered the call yet again. And really, it was Stephon Castle who basically answered that whole question all by himself. The dude walks into a closeout game on the road in just his second year in the NBA and delivers 32 points, 11 rebounds, and 6 assists. He goes 11 of 16 from the floor, a scorching hot 5 of 7 from 3, and finishes a plus 28 in under 30 minutes. Like, what are we actually talking about?
I don't know who decision it was to put Rudy on Stephon Castle, but I didn't get that.
Here. That isn't just a he's gonna be so good one day kind of performance. That's a legitimate playoff takeover performance in your second year. And I'm not even joking. Every time I watch this dude hoop, I get closer and closer to putting that jersey in the cart. Because it's not just the numbers with him, it's the way he goes about it. He's a big-bodied, strong guard who can get downhill, defend, rebound, make the right reads, and now he's apparently shooting the 3 like another Steph in the league. The 3-point shooting was always the swing with him. Castle already has the size, the defense, the ability to get himself to the line, the playmaking, like he already does so much so well. But the easy playoff question was always, can teams just leave him open? Well, in game 6, he showed you that you can't. 5.
And I'm not gonna lie too, like, the Spurs and the Thunder are the two teams that I think they have the best front office maybe in the history of the NBA period. Like, it's never really been a front office that I know, and the Spurs might be a little bit better because they have more success, but Champagne, Keldon Johnson, Dylan Harper, Stephon Castle. I mean, Wemby was an easy number 1 pick, so that's not but everybody else, bro, these is not no number 1, 2, 3 picks. These are picks that some of these are second round picks, late first round picks that they got. You know what I'm saying? And they work. I think it's the culture. I think it's the way they go about their team. You could tell everything is very polished, very professional. You know what I'm saying? They find hidden talent. And when you think about the Spurs, Manu Ginobili, Tony Parker, they wasn't no top 5 picks, bro. I'm pretty sure they was both second round picks. You know what I'm saying? Kawhi Leonard, second round pick. That nigga is, bro. To get that out of somebody, to see talent in the same way with on the other side with OKC, to see the talent in Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, to trade for him, to see the talent in James Harden, to get KD, to get Russ, all these trades, all these picks, all these assets that they have, to get Lou Dort. Like this is some crazy genius basketball mind type shit. And I think the Spurs and the Thunder will be a crazy rivalry for probably the next 10 years. I'm getting like Cavs and Warriors vibes from them, bro. I think they'll be at the helm of the Western Conference unless something crazy happens, like Giannis go to Minnesota or something like that. I think, and honestly, you don't get it fucked up. I think the Spurs want to lose. Because if OKC get Giannis, but even if the Spurs get Giannis, like, what the fuck are you really going to do? Like, I don't know, bro, because they can both get him. The Thunder have a better chance because they got more picks and more assets, but they could literally, and they both on the Western Conference,
made threes against a back-to-back Western Conference finalist. I mean, this guy is just so good. And it hasn't been just a one-off game either. In these playoffs, he's giving you 16.7 points a game, 7.4 assists, and he's shooting 52% effective field goal shooting. Yep, the turnovers are definitely still an issue, but when he's doing everything else that he's doing, it doesn't really matter. Then you look at Dylan Harper, and he's a rookie. Not only is this his first time in the playoffs, but this is his first season in the league, full stop. And now he's giving this Spurs team 11.8 points a game off the bench on 55% effective field goal shooting. Like, none of this is normal. And what's really impressed me with Dylan Harper is how he's not out there just trying to fit in. He legitimately looks comfortable. He can handle the ball. He can get to spots where he can score. He's got legitimate footwork. He rebounds really well. He also plays defense. And in game 6, he gives you 15 points on 6 of 8 shooting off the bench. Harper is also leading the NBA in points off the bench in these playoffs. He has been a revelation. Insane. And then you can't forget about De'Aaron Fox as well. And yes, I saw you guys in the comments. I'm going to talk about him. He is still really important to this Spurs team. And even though the playoffs have been a little bit up and down from him, he's still giving them 18.6 points a game on 55% effective field.
That's what he can do. That's exactly what he can do. He can give you 20, but if Wemby is having an off night, D Fox can go give you 30. D Fox can give you 40 for real. I do think that the guards, I think in this playoffs, that's what I think for the Spurs, I would be worried about the guards, because the best perimeter defenders in the league is OKC, and they got so many dogs they can put on your ass, boy. So it's gonna have to be it's gonna come down. It's gonna be a lot about coaching. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be like, what sets are you running? Who are you running pick and rolls for? Who's coming off pin downs? Who's going off flare screens? What sets are you running? What offensive sets are you running? Because they got some perimeter defense, boy. And they're going to have to make Shai work. They're going to have to make Shai work if they want a chance. Shai is going to have to work because Shai doesn't need to score in the paint. Shai can score in his mid-range, and that's extremely dangerous for a Spurs team who needs Wemby to kind of be in this paint area for them to really have the aura that they have, and for him to really change shots. He's going to have to be down here. You know what I'm saying? So when you got mid-range shooters like a Shai, I don't know if Jalen Williams is supposed to be coming back yet, but Jalen Williams is good off the mid-range too.
Goal shooting, really acting like the adult in the room. And in game 6, he steps up for 21 points and 9 assists on 8 of 10 shooting.
He's a great
and it's really important going forward that he continues to step up. For sure. When he's able to get to a spot and knock down these timely shots, he just feels like another layer that's just impossible to deal with. Yeah. So when people talk about the Spurs having a 3-guard problem and how one of these guys is going to have to go at some point, I just don't understand why we're rushing to make it a problem. Maybe money will force a decision in a couple.
No, I don't think it'll be money. I think that Dylan Harper, They do have too many guards. They got too many good guards. One of them is gonna go. One of them is gonna want to leave and have their own team and have their starting position. They got Vassell, they got Castle, they got Harper, they got Fox. I mean, Fox and Wemby probably will stay. I'm not gonna lie though. Wemby, Fox, and Giannis. Oh Jesus Christ! But then, oh my God.
Years, but right now, on the court, why would you be desperate to break this thing up? Castle, Fox, and Harper just combined for 68 points on 25 of 34 shooting in Game 6. I mean, that right there is stupid. Minnesota legitimately had no answers for these guys. If one of these guys get going, San Antonio feels dangerous offensively. When two of them are going, you've got a legitimate problem on your hands. And when all three of them get going in the same game, well, we literally just watched what happens. You just get annihilated. And it almost doesn't matter how good you are. It's just a nightmare. Then, the second reason as to why the Spurs feel ready is because Victor Wembanyama completely changes what San Antonio is allowed to do. Normally, if a team plays this many guards, you start asking a pretty obvious question. Where's your size and rim protection? For most teams, that can become a problem pretty quickly. But the Spurs are not most teams.
But I will say this. Don't judge this Timberwolves series too hard, because Wemby can't. Look at this play here. Look at how he leaves Shannon in the corner.
Become a problem.
He can't really do that too much on Chet. He can't leave Chet. Chet knocking this down. You know what I'm saying? If you see that corner, this is Wemby's man. He let off of him. Chet knocking that down. And Chet knocking these corners. Chet will score 40 points. You let him shoot this shot all game. So, and they're going to be in a half-court set in this playoff basketball. They're going to be a lot more physical. So we going to see how it go. I know they all love to call the Thunder free throw merchants and all that, bro. But that shit is cap. That's a narrative, bro. Like, that's
pretty quickly.
Bullshit.
But the Spurs are not most teams, because they've got Victor Wembanyama, who's basically two defenders at once. That is what makes them so hard to beat. It feels like the Spurs' defensive game plan is pretty much just Wemby, you go ahead and handle the paint, and everybody else just go be annoying. Run people off the three-point line, really pressure the ball, chase the shooters off the three-point line, and if something breaks, there's a 7'4" alien ball.
See, the way you got to play Wemby, in my opinion, you got to drive and kick. That needs to be your game plan the whole time. You got to drive and kick, bro. You got to drive, pump fake, double clutch, pass it out, because it's too many. Like, you got to know Wemby is coming, and you got to get that ball to his defender when he let off of him. It's too many times where, even in this game, where I seen Shannon wide the fuck open, and they just so committed to the shot. Like, why are you even trying that? Why are you even trying? You need to be trying to bait Wemby. You know he want to block the shot. You know he want to block it. Pump fake. Where the pump fakes at? Hop step, pump fake, pass out. You know he thirsty to block the shot, but you got to get this nigga a shot, bro. You got to get his defender, whoever he's defending, you got to get him a shot. This is ridiculous. Hop step, jump, 360 scan quick. Somebody's open, my nigga. If you see Wemby in here, somebody's open.
Breaks. There's a 7'4" alien behind you, so it's going to be okay.
Nigga,
this allows them to play really fast, get into the ball handlers, take risks, and really make life miserable for the opposition. And that's why the hole at the 4 spot really doesn't feel as bad as it probably should. Now, would San Antonio love to have a perfect forward who could shoot, defend, and rebound the ball? Of course, every team does want that guy. But given the unreal skill set of Wemby, San Antonio can survive without that guy. And that's not a knock on Julian Champagnie. He's played really well in these playoffs. But he's obviously undersized to play the 4. But because of how lethal Wembanyama is in the paint, it simply doesn't matter. And you saw that against Minnesota. In Game 6, Wemby only has 19 points, 6 rebounds, and 3 blocks, which for him isn't a totally ridiculous stat line. But when you go ahead and look at Minnesota's front court, Rudy Gobert finishes with 0 points, 3 rebounds, and no blocks. And
I think
Julius
Rudy was being soft too, though. I think they friends and shit. They both from France, all that bullshit. Why does he keep doing that, dumb? That shit is annoying the fuck out of me.
The San Antonio
shit starts over, like, what the fuck?
set of Wemby. San Antonio can survive without that guy. And that's not a knock on Julian Champagnie. He's played really well in these playoffs with 0 points, 3 rebounds, and no blocks. And Julius Randle goes off for 3 points on 1 of 8 shooting, while being a -34. In an elimination game, Minnesota's starting front court gives them 3 points. That is disgusting. And it isn't just the blocks with Wemby. Sometimes he'll make the flashy defensive play where he pins it on the glass. But so much of this guy's impact happens where it doesn't even show up on the box score. It's just the fear of him being down there. Floaters have to be higher. You've got to rush layups.
But it's like, why do y'all keep trying to drive on him? We gotta do something else. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. We gotta send Wemby through some screens or something. The game plan, if I'm the Timberwolves, the game plan is not, hey, fucking drive the ball to the paint on the tallest nigga in the league. Like, we're not doing that. No.
Good at finishing in the paint, suddenly decide they don't want any part of it. That is the part that really messes with teams. You're not getting any kind of normal offense at the rim. And even good finishes against Wemby feel like somebody's hardest shot they've ever had to take. And the Castle Wembanyama minutes really show you just how dominant defensively the Spurs have been. Because when those two have been on the floor in these playoffs, San Antonio has a plus 20.5 net rating and a 96.4 defensive rating. I mean, come on, man. This isn't a wait for a few more years kind of team. This is a defensive unit that can already ruin anybody's night. And that right there is the Wembanyama effect. He lets the other 4 guys on the court be ultra aggressive. And if any mistakes are made, he's cleaning them up on the back line. Wemby isn't just making this Spurs team better. He straight up changes what they're able to do defensively. And no one else in the NBA is able to replicate it. Then, the third reason why the Spurs are ready to go and win it all right now is because San Antonio did not just beat Minnesota. They made the series feel completely different from what Spurs in 6 is supposed to sound like. Because when you hear a team won a series in 6 games, it kind of sounds like it was a
listen, bro. No, bro. I'll get kicked out of the game. I'm gonna have to elbow you in your stomach. I'm gonna punch you in your fucking throat. You can't do this to me. I'm sorry. They gonna have to kick me out for the whole playoffs. I'm not about to keep letting this nigga. What else am I supposed to do? He gonna get smacked. Somebody gonna get some. I'm just saying.
Fairly competitive
Put his ass
series,
in the third row.
But that really is not what happened here. The 2 games that Minnesota won in this series, they were incredibly fortunate to do so. A missed 3-point shot at the buzzer and a Wemby ejection. Really, this series feels a lot more like Spurs in 5 than it does Spurs in 6. Because the way San Antonio controlled this series was really shocking to witness. And Game 6 was the cleanest version of it. San Antonio walks into Minnesota, wins by 30 points, leads by as many as 37, and they never trailed. A road closeout rout where Minnesota literally never had a chance. That isn't just a young team escaping a second round series. This is a young team putting itself in a different conversation. And the part that matters is how normal they made it feel. The Spurs didn't look like they were trying to convince themselves that, yeah, they belong. No, they were just straight up playing like they knew they were supposed to be there. And every time it felt like, okay, here comes Minnesota, they just had answers. Castle would hit a 3, Fox would get to a spot, Wemby picks up a big stop in the paint, and then boom, the run is dead before it even became a problem. That is what should change the way people are talking about this team. Minnesota were a really experienced group. They're a team that is battle-tested. Like, they've been through wars against some of the best teams in the NBA. And yet, San Antonio made them feel like the young team trying to figure out what on earth they're supposed to be doing. That's the whole point here. The Spurs aren't supposed to be this mature playoff team just yet, but that's exactly what they appear to be. And when you beat a really good team this easily, the next question is really obvious. what does this mean for Oklahoma City? Because that's the fourth reason why all of this is starting to get pretty serious. Spurs versus Thunder. Oklahoma City are the reigning champs. They're undefeated in these playoffs, and they're basically the team that everybody's hate watching at this point. When you are this good, this is what naturally happens. The whole league would rather see somebody else win. And just like a knight in shining armor,
it's going to get to a point where the same way people feel about OKC, they're going to feel about Wemby. You know what I'm saying? Wemby is loved right now because it's like, but people going to start hating him because he going to start whooping. He going to, like, bro, this nigga is, but listen, if there's nobody who had his potential, if this man can somehow, some way get 5 or 6 rings, he'd probably be the only person I'd be like, boy, that nigga better than Jordan. Not even like what's the argument? He's fucking 7'6". What are you going? What can he do that Jordan? What can Jordan do that Wemby can't do? Wemby could do what Jordan did and more if he lock in. Don't let him get stronger, even stronger than he already is. He's so fluid. His feet move so fast. He moving like that at 7'6". Ain't nobody gonna. That nigga can average 40 points a night if he want to, for real. Like, literally, bro. He can average 40 in this league, bro. No problems at all. If he want to go out there every night and say, give me the ball, post up, nigga. Give me the ball. I'm finna do this jump hook all night. I'm finna 45 points a night. He can. If it's somebody that can do it, he could do it. If it's somebody that can get 85, 90 points, it's Wemby. Like, if Wemby say, hey, I want to go try to get 100 points tonight. We playing the Jazz, or we playing, you know what I'm saying? That nigga can go out there and get 100 points, no problems. And then to get to a point where the other team just give up. Like, shit, what we gonna do? We can't jump, we can't foul them. What the fuck we gonna do? I'm just scared because shit, I feel like, man, I don't know.
Here come the San Antonio Spurs. The young team, the future team, the team that was still supposed to be years away. And yet, they just beat Minnesota. And they just so happen to be the one team that actually has made Oklahoma City uncomfortable during the regular season. San Antonio went 4-1 against the Thunder this season. Yep, you heard that right. 4 games to 1. And these were not just random one-night heaters. They beat the Thunder in the NBA Cup in a game OKC desperately wanted. Then they beat them just a few days later, and then on Christmas Day, with the Thunder back at home, with the NBA world on fire, desperate to see if the Spurs could do it again. San Antonio did just that. That is why this isn't just a typical young team up against a juggernaut type series. The Spurs have legitimately bothered the Thunder this season. Not once, not twice, 4 times. And they picked up these wins when the Thunder were rolling during that NBA Cup stretch.
They really stopped the Thunder's momentum, for real.
OKC were 24-1 coming into that game. Hartenstein was back. J-Dub was playing. And that wasn't some fake version of the champs. They caught them when they were peaking and beat them anyway. Then, to make this even more absurd, since then, San Antonio has only gotten better. Castle has gotten better. Dylan Harper has gotten way better. Their offense just exploded for 139 points in a closeout game. And Wembanyama is controlling the paint. This isn't even the same version of the Spurs that OKC played last time. Now, I'm not going to give my prediction in this video because this series deserves its own video, because I'm telling you, it's going to be one for the ages. And also because right now, I don't know where I'm going with this. The Thunder are still the champs. SGA is the best player in the world, and they have earned the benefit of the doubt. Maybe there is still one more punch coming, one more adjustment, or one more answer that reminds everybody why OKC are still the best team in the NBA. But what if they don't have an answer? What if the regular season matchup isn't random? What if Castle and Harper are ready for this moment? What if Fox gives them enough? And most importantly, what if OKC cannot solve Victor Wembanyama? Like, this series could legitimately go either way. And speaking of another team that suddenly looks way more real than anybody expected, it's the New York Knicks. And
now, I know a lot of people are saying that whoever wins, the Spurs and the Thunder, is going to win the championship. And I somewhat agree, but the Knicks they don't look like no slouches, bro. they don't look like no slouches, regardless of who they end up playing. You know what I'm saying? Now, the Pistons or the Cavs, I think both of them end up getting spanked. I don't think the Pistons have enough firepower. And the Cavs, they just seem like super unserious to me. Like, they don't seem like they really, really, really want to win. Like, it don't really seem like they really believe that they can win a ring. Like, it seemed like they just out there hoop type shit. But I do think the Pistons will win tonight. And then I think the Knicks will probably get the Pistons out of there in like 5, maybe 6. But yeah, it's gonna be. I ain't gonna lie, bro. And I pray to God Almighty that nobody significant gets injured. I pray that nobody get injured at all. Actually, I pray that the whole rest of the playoffs is 100% healthy. OG Anunoby, Jalen Williams, Shea, Wemby, the whole Spurs, the whole Thunder, the whole Knicks, the whole. I pray that it's because last year, bro, I feel like that was going to be like, I don't know. And I'm an OKC fan, but I didn't want to win like that. With Tyrese Halliburton going down like that, I didn't want us to win like that. So, I really, 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 really pray that nobody get injured and we just have a great, great, great Final Four of the NBA. Like, this might be one of the best playoffs in a while that I could think about. I don't remember no conference finals being no crazy shit like this since before LeBron went back to Cleveland, for real. Because you got to think about the Eastern Conference was so ass. LeBron was just spanking their ass all the way to the finals. You know what I'm saying? So that wasn't really entertaining for real. Then you had the Warriors. You knew they was going to win every damn year. That wasn't really entertaining for real. But now I feel like it's so much talent in the league where, nigga, you don't know who gonna win. Like, even next year, depending on where Giannis go, you don't know who gonna win the shit. Boy.